Good afternoon and welcome back to Comiskey Park in Chicago for the rubber game of this three-game series between the White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. Sox have taken the field. They're in their sleeveless jerseys. And Tom Kelly, the skipper for Minnesota, gives us this starting lineup for this afternoon. Leading off in center field, Jacque Jones. Batting second at third, Brent Gates. Todd Walker is at second base. He'll hit third. Cleanup man is Marty Cordova, who killed us last night. He's the DH. Ron Coomer plays first and hits fifth, followed by right fielder Corey Koski. Chad Allen is in left field in the seventh position. Hitting eighth behind the plate is veteran Terry Steinbach, and bringing up the rear at shortstop, Christian Guzman. Here's the Sox on defense. Carlos Lee in left field. Chris Singleton plays center with Maglio Ordonez in right. Greg Norton returns to third base. Mike Caruso is the shortstop. Ray Durham plays second with Frank Thomas at first. Brooke Fordyce behind the plate. And Jamie Navarro, 31-year-old right-hander, on the mound. Jamie 5-5, a 5.25 ERA and 13 starts. Has pitched real well in the last month. 76 hits in 72 innings, 12 long ones, 30 walks, and 37 strikeouts. As we mentioned in the open, he's just 4-12 career against Minnesota. The umpires, our friends in blue, are Jim Joyce at home plate, Eric Cooper at first base, crew chief Jim McKeon at second, and Brian O'Nora is the third base umpire. So we are ready for baseball, and here's the Hawk-a-Roo.
All right, Wimpy, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to exciting young Chicago White Sox baseball right here over WGN Sports. Finale of this homestand. And this is the rubber match of this three-game set. Jacque Jones will lead it off. 24-year-old outfielder playing center. He played left, or check that, he played right on Tuesday. Hitting at 300, no homers. He's driven in 6. First pitch fastball. So the count 0-1. 347 down the lines, 375 in the gaps, 400 straightaway center field here at Comiskey Park. As the Twinkies come in, 13-21 on the road. There's a fastball high off the plate. Minnesota hitting at 269 with a 5.47 team ERA. Off the end of the bat, but hit solidly into right field. So the leadoff single by Jacque Jones.
And just like last night, looked like a hanging splitter or a slider. This team loves that off-speed stuff, and it looks like they're looking away and they're jumping over every mistake the Sox pitchers have made in the last two games. Well, yesterday, of course, and the first batter in this game against Navarro.
Here's the switch hitting third baseman Brent Gates, hitting at 291, a homer. He's driven in 19, 3 for 9 in the series as he takes ball one. Gates has faced Navarro 15 times in his career. He has 7 hits. 6 of them have stayed in the park. Gates, the veteran with Oakland, Seattle. As Navarro is going to make sure that Jones knows he's very well aware of his presence at first base. Jamie, throughout his career, has been one of the easiest guys in baseball to steal off of, but now he's changed things around just a little bit, working quicker, and sometimes even change his delivery to home plate, where he unloads a lot more rapidly.
Yeah, he's always had that long arm delivery, but he has sped it up. Gives his catcher a chance now.
Artie Contreras. Decent lead by Jones. As there's a strike and the count 2-1. As you saw in the umpire lineup, Jim Joyce behind the plate. Well, we've had 2 good umpired games in the first 2 games of this series. Jim McKeon on Tuesday, and then last night Brian O'Nora. There's O'Nora.
He didn't get even hurt real bad yesterday. He had a good game.
There goes the runner. And there's a base hit. So Jones round second. He falls down as Carlos Lee now gets to it. So Jones just spun his wheels going around second base. Meanwhile, the beat goes on for the Twins.
Well, hit and run was on. Nice job by Brent Gates going with that pitch. Hits it right in the hole, and Jones is thinking third base. Hey, that would have been a close play because Carlos was coming in hard to get that ball.
I don't think he would have made it. Carlos got to it in a hurry. So here's Walker. Todd Walker hitting at 276, 3 homers. He's driven in 22, 2 for 5 last evening. I'll check that he's 2 for 5 in the series. 2 for 4 last night. That ball hit deep in the left. Carlos Lee going back on the track, reaches up, makes a nice play. Carlos has really had some significant improvement defensively. Well, they've been working him hard enough. They've been riding him hard and putting him away wet.
Yes, they have. I'll tell you, that ball really carried out there. That was almost a 3-run homer to start this thing off. You see Carlos going back sideways, now making that little turn. Boy, you want to stay away from that back pedal because you lose a lot, but right there it was late, so that was okay. Able to make the catch right in front of the fence. Man, that ball's flying.
That's the quickest ball I've ever seen. Carlos made an outstanding play in the opener Tuesday evening as Marty Cordova stands in. Had a career-high 5 RBIs last evening. Takes that slider, flips it foul. It'll be a souvenir right side. Cordova at 304, 7 homers, 36 knocked in. He is 3 for 10 lifetime against Navarro with a long one. Good pitch.
Good pitch. See what Cordova has done the last 26 games. 365 with 22 runs batted in. Go with those 5 RBIs he had last night.
There's a strike on the outside corner, so the count 1-2. You know, we were talking about this the other day. Everybody's discussing still at this juncture. I think the umpiring has been much better this season. We've seen it in the past few years.
Right.
But they're talking about calling the high strike. They're talking about this. They're talking about that. All they got to do is just call the inside strike.
Yes.
That'll cure all the ills. If the umpires just call the inside strike and let those pitchers establish an inside fastball, to whereas the hitters can't be diving out over the plate, because you get the biggest majority of the umpires who will not call the inside strike.
Yeah, and they'll give you a
few
lot
inches
on
off
the
the
outside.
plate.
Yeah, and it's just not right. I tell you, it's hurting both the hitting and the pitching.
Sox looking for a pair. Durham jockeying in around second base as the 1-2 pitch drops down. We got a shot at it. Durham, Caruso, rack 'em up.
Yes.
4-6-3. And that'll retire the side. Twinkies come up with a couple of hits after having a play. It's the bad guys nothing and the good guys coming up.
Jamie Navarro worked out of some potential danger in the top half of the first inning, and here is the starting lineup for the Sox. Leading off at second base, Ray Durham. Batting second at shortstop, Mike Caruso. Frank Thomas plays first and hits third. Cleanup hitters, Mags Ordonez in right. Carlos Lee is in left field in the 5th spot, followed by Chris Singleton in center. Greg Norton plays third, hits 7th. Batting 8th and DHing Jeff Leefer. And bringing up the rear behind the plate is Brooke Fordyce. Here's the Twins on defense. It's Allen, Jones, and Koski in the outfield. Gates, Guzman, Walker, and Coomer are the infielders. Veteran Terry Steinbach behind the plate. And 28-year-old right-hander Brad Radke on the mound. 6'2", 288-pounder from Largo, Florida. 5-6 on the year with a 3.47 earned run average. He's a good one. 2 complete games in 15 starts. He has given up 107 hits in 98 2/3, 13 long ones, 18 walks. So you got to get this guy early in the count and early in the ball game, preferably. He has punched out 70 on the season. Career 4-3 against the White Sox, and in his major league career is 59-60.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as Ray Durham will lead it all. Ray at 307, 9 homers, 36 driven in. 4 for 8 in the series and 8 for 26 lifetime against Brad Radke with a homer. Radke, one of the best changeups around. There's a bunt. That's a good one. They're going to have to stick that one in their pocket.
Nicely done, Raymond. Boy, Ray coming in, as Hawk mentioned, a 307 hitter, so he has really got that average going up, up, up. Watch the way he just deadens it, just kind of catches it off the end of the bat. Perfect angle. If that wasn't going to be a base hit, it was going to be a foul ball. Terry Steinbach had no chance.
That'll bring up Mike Caruso. Mike at 272, a homer. He's driven in 20. 3 for 10 in the series. And Mike 2 for 4 lifetime against Radke. As now Gates in on the grass, several steps at third, outfield. For the most part, spread out as that pitch inside. Radke out of Largo, Florida. Brad Radke is right. He's one of the top 5 or 6 pitchers in this league.
Well, you know, in his last 4 starts, Hawk, he's 1-2 with a great .257 earned run average with just 4 walks, and that covers 28 innings. So he will throw strikes.
Ray had a grimace over there, and I'm talking with Ryan Little. I don't know if it was. Radke fairly quick to first.
A back? No.
Uh-oh. Well, you know, he had those spasms the other day.
Yeah.
There goes Durham. Steinbach cannot find the air, so Ray picks up his 10th stolen base. Oh, that was just gamesmanship. That was good deke, Ray. I really liked it. I love to watch Ray deke.
Yeah. I think Ray's okay. Like a speeding bullet going down to second base. Steinbach was going to have to be perfect to get him. See the crossover step? Ray looks up to see if the ball's put into play, but no go. Nicely done.
So 1-1 the count. Takes a bunt, takes it up high, 2 balls and a strike.
It's a great idea by Caruso. Get that guy to third base and put a point on the board, because it's going to be very difficult to score on Radke.
Sox hitting at .286 as a team, 4.53 ERA. But the Sox, who are 34-34, have had trouble at home. They are 17-20. Two-one delivery. Oh, pretty good rip right there. Got the head out just underneath it. And right now, let's check out our picks to click. Phil Moore, Skip Ellison, our director and crew, and reliever. Susan Evans, our producer, went with Wade Durham. Wimpy's going with Frank Thomas. And all the guys down at Southern Dunes. Louis Tomko, Drew Gillen, Ron Giuliano. We're going to go with Caruso.
Well, the Moose, Jerry Deerwester, Kathy Kerr, and I are teaming up today. Big hurt. Come on.
That's in the right field. Not very deep. Koski, as Durham's just going to give a little token 1-step fake. And there's 1 out. So here's the big hurt, Frank Thomas. Cranked out his 9th homer last night, and it was a long blast. Coming off Bob Wells. Now watch where this ball hits. Last year, this would have been a $1 million homer, because it hits the Geico sign last evening. Last year, it was a Las Vegas Convention Center sign with a prize of $1 million. Meanwhile, it was a long way. Frank 4 for 19 with 2 homers off Radke. Off-speed pitch, grabs the strike. So it's going to be up to Todd Walker to try to hang out around second, keep Ray from taking third. There's a fastball, and that's a strike. So the count very quickly, 0-2. There's Walker. He'll give a few token fakes. But 1-2 the count. The big Frank. Frank homered in Tuesday's game. That was a first inning shot, the 68th first inning homer of his career. Just an inordinate amount of first inning homers. Change got him. So Frank is gone, and that's out number 2, and here comes Ordonez. Mags hitting at .332, 13 homers, 54 driven in. Mags is 4 for 9 in the series with a couple of RBIs. Lifetime against Radke's 2 for 4. Mags has just been magnificent. Runners in scoring position, knocking them in.
Boy, the toughest run to score is a 2-out RBI, and look what he's done. 371 with 2 homers, 17 runs batted in situations like this.
Well, there for a while, up until just a week or so ago, he was leading the league in that category. That's outside. The count evens at 1.
Well, if you had to pick a guy to make the All-Star team, just one guy. As you look at Mags, runners in scoring position 400. Tony Fernandez doing real well. Roberto Alomar, Palmeiro, and Ramirez.
Just one guy?
Yeah.
Off our club?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any question about it. Checks it up. Ray Durham. Mags a close second.
See, I would take Mags.
I would take Ray because Ray is a middle infielder hitting over 300.
Right. Oh, yeah, sure.
I mean, playing spectacular defensively. That to me, I mean, Mags has had a wonderful season for a second-year guy, and he should be on the All-Star team.
Yeah.
But if we only could have one representative, as there's a ground ball to Hopper. Brent Gates has got him over to first, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. There was a hit, a stolen base, 1 left after 1, no score.
Oh.
Onions. I love onions.
Do they like you, though?
No.
Let's throw a little garlic in there with it.
Oh, I love garlic and onions.
Oh, man.
As we get set to go to the top of the second inning, it'll be Coomer, Koski, and Allen to face Jamie Navarro. Last inning, Jones single to lead it off. Gates single. And then on first and second, nobody out. Todd Walker fly deep to left field. Nice play by Carlos Lee. And then Marty Cordova hit into the 4-6-3 double play.
Yeah, the Twins really had a chance right there, and Cordova really swing the bat, especially last night with those 5 RBIs. That was a great double play. As you look at Coomer's numbers on the series, 3 for 9. He homered last night also.
Just a good solid hit. Fastball strike. The kind of guy that you really like to pull for because of the fact he's made himself a good hitter.
Yeah.
And to make yourself a good hitter, a lot goes into that. Is that pitch up high? That evens the count at 1.
Well, you know, Ronnie will tell you, he's not blessed with great speed or defensive ability.
No.
But he just battled his way. He was in the Dodger organization, Sox system. Got a chance in Minnesota, and he made the most of it.
There's good pitcher's pitch right there. Not a good hitter's pitch. You don't see Coomer do that very often. Now, he did strike out on a bad high fastball away on Tuesday. Making yourself a good hitter is hard to do. 2-2. Well, there's a process in baseball that happens. Wimpy, you're well aware of it. And it starts right when the kids first put that professional uniform on and go to spring training. All they got to do is take a few bad swings, and then they're going to get some advice from somebody.
You got that right.
And it continues. Oddly enough, it continues all the way up through the system. And if you're fortunate enough to get to the big leagues, that's outside full count. And it even continues at the big league level.
Yeah.
That's the most objective part of baseball, and certainly the hitting instructor is, in my opinion, the toughest job in baseball.
Yeah.
Of the uniformed personnel.
You got to know when to come in and when to go out.
That's right. You got to know when to speak. And there's a shot, base hit. So Coomer just inside outs it. And the leadoff single.
Well, you got to point out, too, that Coomer's a .286 career hitter. Not too shabby.
Well, what happens with the youngsters, though, when they're signed, you know, they have tremendous success at either the high school or the college level, or else they wouldn't have signed in the first place. Then they get to camp or join a club in midseason. They go for 4, and all of a sudden, here comes a ton of advice.
Yeah.
And they might have a funny-looking stance, but there have been a lot of guys who had funny-looking stances who are in Cooperstown right now.
Darn right.
Here's Corey Koski hitting a .309, 6 homers, 27 driven in. That's into left field. Come on, Carlos. He's there.
Wow.
Nice play. Got a good jump on it. And that's out number 1.
Well, that inside-out swing, you know, it looks like the Twins are taking that game plan with them. You know, Parquet neutralized it pretty much the other day with that real good inside fastball. So sneaky with it. But the last 2 days, you can see these guys have got a definite purpose up there. They're going to try and get everything inside out. If it's inside, try and take it the other way or go with the pitches away. And yesterday, of course, they had their second most successful hitting day of the season.
Well, the numbers won't bear it out, but I think Jim Parquet's got the best fastball on the staff. Only because of his deception and his delivery and the sneakiness of it. He'll top out at around 90, where we got other guys throwing 93, 94, 95. But I know from a hitter standpoint, I'd rather go after the 93, 94, 95 guys and go after Parquet's 90 when it's sneaky like it is.
It's real sneaky. Boy, he turns his back to the hitter practically. And all of a sudden, he just shoots it up there from that little body of his, and it's amazing how guys are just late on it.
Chad Allen takes a strike. He's 5 for 10 in the series, hitting an even .300. Where's that pitch?
Right there. Certainly wasn't high.
The ball is striking out. There goes the runner. Low throw. Look at the pick by Durham, and he puts it on.
Wow.
Good play, Little Ray. Wow. Bad throw by Fordyce. And a terrific pick by Durham to slap some leather on Ron Coomer.
Well, you don't think Coomer's going to steal, although he was 2 for 2. There's a pretty good pitch to throw on. Looks like Brook just kind of took his time with it and really didn't let it go, just didn't let it fly.
Well, the pick is the key right here after the bad throw was made, and he just stayed right with it. So 1-2 the count to Allen, and that's 2-2. Watch Ray stay right with his bad throw. He's down already on his knee. Had his glove down, stayed with it, saw it into his glove. Made it look easy.
Whew. Great play.
That's out of play right side. And a reminder, Saturday, July 3rd at 12:15, when the Red Sox are in town, it'll be the 1959 White Sox caps from Miller Lite. Now, the first 20,000 adults 21 and over will receive those 59 White Sox caps from Miller Lite. So for tickets, dial 312-831-1 Sox. That's Saturday, July 3rd, Boston in town.
Good hats.
You know, I was having breakfast this morning, and I was looking at the poster there, you know, over in the corner. Nellie Fox, 59 Go-Go Sox.
Right.
That really was, I'll tell you. That was well, you were overseas, you know.
Yeah.
That's
I
out of play right
many
side.
Major League games, but
Third tour of duty.
well, you know, he got it on a short wave.
That was really, it brings back a lot of memories. Nellie Fox, Big Clue,
I hated the White Sox back then.
the beer, Mal Smith,
Yeah.
Gus, Early Wynn. You know, a lot of those guys have left us.
Yeah, Sherm Lawler.
Pretty good pitch right there. Didn't get into full count. Yep, a lot of memories. The payoff pitch. Allen fouls that away. Chad Allen is 24 years old. He's still got to prove to me he can hit that gas inside.
Absolutely. You know, you love his enthusiasm at the plate. You know he's a great competitor.
Tenacious, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good pitcher's pitch off right there.
Well, he's telling you where he wants the ball. He's way off the plate. He does have kind of an open stance, but it looks like he's got long arms for that plate coverage. You see a guy off the plate, that's where he wants the ball. He wants it away. If he's on top of it, he wants the inside part. I like that crouch.
Got a pretty good rip at that one. Up out over the plate.
Well, the Twins, you see a few of these guys hitting down, staying down in that crouch. Cordova's in a bit of a crouch right now. Allen. I just think they get a better look, particularly at the breaking ball. Now, you got to stay down, of course, because if you stand straight up, you defeat the whole purpose.
I like stand-up hitters if they can hit.
I like these guys.
I like those stand-up hitters who have a short stride, hit off the front foot.
Yeah, right. I tried that for about 15 years.
And when you can do a lot of things that other guys couldn't do, and they can do things that the Whimperoo couldn't do.
Oh, man, I remember standing straight up, had no clue on a breaking ball. Uh-oh.
Off-speed pitch, there it is. He has just hit everything off speed for a base hit.
He's lucky he didn't hit that one 9 miles. That was a hanger. He's got 6 hits in this series.
6 for 11. And here's Steinbach.
Oh, boy, look at that. Just a roller on the inner half. See how he stays down?
No,
hands
he came
back.
up on that one.
Well,
but
he stays long enough down.
Yes, he does. Yes,
you know, I mean,
does.
you're not going to stay perfectly still down there. But he kept his hands back very nicely, recognizing the breaking pitch.
Steinbach takes first pitch strike. Terry at 324, a couple of homers, 18 driven in. 2 for 3 in the series, 4 for 18 lifetime against Navarro. Navarro bobbles the ball, had plenty of time, and that'll be an error. Wow.
Man,
It's just,
this play is just too easy. Just too easy.
well, to the 37-year-old veteran Steinbach's credit, he was hauling it down the line.
Ran as fast as he could.
Wow. If he's taking it easy at all, then he's going to recover and throw him out, but he didn't. And here's the shortstop, Christian Guzman. At 206, no homers. He's knocked in 8, 2 for 8 in the series. Down ball right side. Ray sucks it up, pegs him out, and it'll retire the side. Nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. We're into the bottom of the second inning in the finale of this homestand. Rubber match of this 3-game series with Minnesota. Carlos Lee will lead it off. It'll be Lee, Singleton, and Norton. Joe Steffen has been around someplace, passing out some White Sox. Oh, there he is right down there. He's got his box. Getting them all primed and ready. Whereas in between singing. So here's Carlos. 4 for 9 in the series, hitting at .318 on the year. 3 homers, he's driven in 26. First pitch popped up into right center field. Jacques Jones. 1 pitch, 1 out. And a reminder that kids ages 14 and under can join the Coca-Cola Silver and Black Pack. That's the kids fan club. And kids who join will get free White Sox tickets and cool souvenirs. Plus, they can participate in an on-field parade. Membership is just $15. So dial 312-674-5367. That's 674-5367 for our Silver and Black Pack application. Chris Singleton. 5 for 9 in the series, 4 for 5 last night, and twice had a shot to pick up a double, which would have given him the cycle. Here's at 296, and what a terrific addition to this ball club he has been. Played an outstanding center field. Not good. Outstanding.
Yeah. Especially when you consider all the winds here, the crazy wind currents at Comiskey Park. I think it's better now than it was first part of the season. My goodness.
And outside of Junior, might throw just about as well as any center fielder in this league.
He is really surprised with the bat. You know, he's a 277 minor league career hitter. Hitting better at the major league level.
Takes the bunt, takes the pitch up high.
And that's hard work and dedication. Chris has made an adjustment, though. Remember in spring training, he was really diving, striding into the plate, and they could really get him out inside. But right now, he's basically picking that foot up and laying it right down.
That ball hit deep in the left center field. Back at the fence, they jump. It's off the wall. So Singleton picks up that elusive double that he missed last night. He's on second with 1 out.
Boy, I'll tell you what, he's just covering the plate great. You throw him away, he's going to hit it hard the other way, and he's been able to turn on certain pitches. Watch that front foot. He just basically puts up on his toe and then puts it straight back down, so it eliminates a lot of head movement. See how still that head is? And when he gets the head of the bat out front, he is real dangerous. I'll tell you what, he is improving just leaps and bounds as this season continues. There's Von Joshua, who's done a great job with the young hitters this season.
Well, as we mentioned, Sox hitting 286 as a club coming in. This is the youngest team in the league, second youngest in all of baseball. And you tell me if Von's done a good job.
Oh, he's been wonderful. Not real mechanical oriented.
No,
which is
thought process is a huge factor in his equation. So here's Norton. Jack Gould's pick to click. Norton at 251, 10 homers. He's driven in 27. I thought that ball was gone.
I did too. The way it's been carrying.
That's up high. 1-0 the count. Jeff Leefer on deck.
The thing about Singleton, it just looks like he's not being fooled by anything. He just takes everything. His hands are staying back on the breaking ball. He's able to dial it up for the fastball.
Well, that tells you he's got a good thought process going. When you're as hot as he has been, first of all, you're going to have a good thought process going. And the next thing is, Chris is not a pretty hitter.
No.
And that's part and parcel to what you were talking about, making constant adjustments. Those pretty hitters have it a little bit easier than guys who have to dig, scrape, and grind. There's that pitch down low, and they count 3-0.
Is Norton swinging?
Nope. All 4. So here comes Leefer.
TK just working himself into a frenzy over there in that Twins dugout. Look.
One of the more solid managers in all of baseball.
Darn right he is. I'll tell you, you know, one of the most significant moves of that ball game yesterday, Hawk, was getting Mike Lincoln out of the game. You know, he realized he just didn't have it, and he minimized the damage. He got out of the first inning with 3 runs, and his team came back real solid.
Yeah, when he got to the 2-0 count on Konerko, TK was out of that dugout in a heartbeat.
And that was one little subtlety in that game that, you know, really worked out to the Twins' advantage, because about the 3rd inning, they just shifted everything from a momentum standpoint over to their side.
Well, Ben Sampson came on and did a terrific job in relief, picking up his 3rd victory against no defeats. A change up down low and a count 1-1. Well, you don't see as many managers today use that kind of an instinct, so to speak. That's more of a thing where, as you mentioned, Tom knew that And Mike Lincoln yesterday just did not have his good stuff nor his good control. He was very tentative out there. Mike Lincoln's had some good outings for those guys.
Yeah, his best outing was against Cleveland.
So he went out and he immediately came to the mound to. First of all, you're going to make it easier on Lincoln. That pitch fouled back and the count 1-2. But Earl Weaver used to do that. I've seen Earl Weaver take out pitchers after they threw a high strike to somebody and the guy had a great swing, was right on him. Earl just knew that the guy was on him. He'd go out and take him out. He used his gut instinct. Dick Williams the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely an example of that by Kelly. You just don't see it. And a lot of times a guy will stand there too long where 5 or 6 runs are scored and the team is never able to regroup.
Out in front of the change.
High change.
So the count hangs at 1-2.
You talk about Radke's changeup. He can get away with that pitch a lot more than most pitchers in this league, a high changeup, because of his delivery. He's so consistent with it, with the arm speed and the speed of the pitch. He doesn't give it away.
Singleton at second, Norton at first. Bites that fastball off. So Brad Radke trying to pitch out of a little jam here in the bottom of the second inning. There's a shot, base hit, right back to the middle. Here comes Singleton. He will score, and the Sox jump out on top 1-0. Attaboy, Jeff.
Boy, what a nice job by Leifer on a 1-2 pitch. It's down and away, and he didn't try and turn that top hand over, which would have probably turned into a 4-6-3 double play. Watch him just go with this pitch. Wow. Kept that top hand on the bat. Excellent job of hitting there right by Guzman, who had no chance to make the play.
Brooke Fordyce stands in. Brooke hitting at .347. That's good. 4 homers. He's driven in 21. Fastball in the outside corner. Well, the Sox in June are leading the American League in hitting with a .319 average.
That's good. Ahead of the Orioles, who've been red hot. Cleveland. Minnesota's starting to swing the bats. I'll tell you, that theory of going the other way is producing a lot of hits for those guys. Whoops.
Saws him off right there. Flips it foul over the first base dugout.
Look at him. Uh-oh.
He's worried to death. Isn't he?
He can't stand it.
That's inside. Try to double him up right there with another fastball. Well, Fordyce leading All-American League catchers with that average. That's with a minimum of 150 at-bats. In fact, in his last 28 ball games, Brooke hitting at .391.
That's real good.
That's cued foul. Fair, I should say. And that's out number 2.
Well, he threw those 2 inside fastballs, really set up the outer half of the plate for that excellent changeup of his. And even though Brooks' strength is away, he didn't recognize the speed of that change right there. So Radke gets a big out, but 2 guys in scoring position for Ray Durham, who singled in the first inning.
They now on that 13-game hitting streak.
Wow.
Ducks that pitch, but it's called a strike. Two big ducks on the pond out there, Little Ray. And our Sterling Plumbing shower. And you know, of course, that Sterling Plumbing is the official John of the Chicago White Sox.
We wouldn't have it any other way.
No. Ooh, backs him up with a fastball inside. That evens the count at 1 with Mike Caruso on deck. Yeah, that shower is going to get some use this afternoon. That is the original shower from Old Comiskey Park. Outfield for the most part straight up. Turns it over, sinks that one down and away, and the count 2-1. So Ray in good shape. That single he had in the first was a beautiful bunt single. Then he picked up his 10th stolen base. Right here, Radke, though, it's a pitcher's preference. That's up high. He might feel a little more comfortable with Caruso than he does Durham. Only Brad knows that. I still don't think he's going to give in to him right here.
No, I think he's going to throw his best pitch, which is the changeup.
Dick Sutch, pitching coach. Pops him up. Guzman making the call. He's got the ball. And that'll retire the side. Sox get on the board with a run, and after 2 they lead it 1-0. Nancy Faust at the organ, and we got an email here from Lori Moore down in Irving, Texas, originally from Michigan City and a lifelong Sox fan. Says I watch all the Sox telecast on GN. After 22 years in Dallas, my friends have given up trying to turn me into a Ranger fan, and I've just wondered where Nancy Faust was. I thought I heard her playing the organ earlier in the season, but not lately. And Lori Moore, she entertains the fans here every White Sox home game.
She plays that funky music on her organ, much like Myron Florin did.
1-0 good, guys. It'll be the top of the order. Jones, Gates, and Walker to face Jamie Navarro as there's a shot base hit. So Jacques Jones is 2 for 2. Here's Brent Gates. 2 switch hitters in this lineup. Gates and Guzman. Gates had a single his first trip back on Tuesday. Tom Kelly had 4 switch hitters in that lineup. There's a good fastball strike. And a reminder, fans, you can pick up S. Rosen's bread products at your local Dominic's and enter your child in the S. Rosen's High Five the White Sox sweepstakes. Lucky winners will get a high five from a White Sox player before a select 99 home game, as well as game tickets and much more. Children must be between the ages of 6 and 14, so see Dominic's store display and select S. Rosen's products for details.
I believe that's Saul Rosen, former third baseman.
There's a strike in the count 0-2. Could be Samantha. Could be Susie.
I doubt it. Could be related to Susie, but
Susan Evans says she likes the poppy seed. S. Rosen's bread products. Good pitch right there in on the fist. So the count hangs at 2 strikes. The 29-year-old veteran infielder checking down with Ron Gardenhire. It always mystified me on 0-2 when I would get out and stand there for about 30 or 40 seconds checking down with the third base umpire.
He has nothing else to do but try and hit that ball.
How many 0-2 hit and runs have you ever seen in your career?
None?
I can't recall one.
Jeez.
36 years in the American League. I can't recall one.
Yeah, guys have run.
Oh, yeah, sure. But not on a hit. But you find so many hitters who 0-2, they'll just back out and they'll just stare down at the third base coach.
Why?
You know, for 20, 30 seconds.
Well, I had to look down there when I was with the Dodgers to see if Walt Austin wanted me to take.
Well, you were unique, Wimpy. That's a different set of
give the other team a real good chance.
You were a different animal. Jock Jones does not go. There's a ground ball. Caruso. Durham. Hello. Rack him up. 6-4-3. Second twin killing turn by the Sox. And 2 gone.
Well, this Minnesota team, they're a contact hitting team. They're not going to hit a lot of homers, and you got to make the plays. There's going to be a lot of ground ball opportunities with these guys on offense. And there you see your basic 6-4-3. Make the plays.
Well, here's Todd Walker. He flied deep to left field. Carlos Lee made a nice catch on it. I guess if you had to put a number on Carlos Lee from what we have observed since he first got called up from Charlotte, where he'd only played left field about a week prior to the call-up. He'd been at third base. I would say that on a scale of 1 to 10 when Carlos got here, he was probably about a 2, maybe a 3. Now, Carlos in the last week or 10 days, you might say he's a 5. He's made some fine plays out there. Just 22 years old out of Aqua Dulce, Panama. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. There's a good one. There is a good bunt. A little push bunt by Walker.
He just deadens this one perfectly. Doesn't give it away, and yet doesn't rush it. Just kind of catches it with the end of the bat. Surprises everyone. Jamie had no chance.
Marty Cordova hit into that 4-6-3 double play in the first inning, but Cordova, if you're just tuning in, last night he was 3 for 5, a homer, and drove in 5. It's a personal best for Marty, former American League Rookie of the Year. That's a good pitch to Hopper. Mike over to Durham. They force Walker, and that'll retire the side. Nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Good guys on top by 1. We're into the bottom of the third inning. One of the Sox fans in attendance. In a, strange sort of way, Wimpy. That's not a bad looking mask,
Too much makeup.
Yeah, it was a little too much. Maybe around the eyes.
Maybe a little more blush.
Yeah. Okay. Mike Caruso will lead it off. Mike go for 1, fly to right field. He was trying to get Durham over to third back in the first inning, but it was not hit deep enough. Fastball slashes that one. So as Mike comes back, picks up his bat. 0-1 to count. Let's pause for station ID.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
Along with the Whimperoo, Big Bob, the Duke Meister, the Jinx Meister, Tom Paciori, Ken Harrelson from Comiskey Park. Ball hit fairly hard. 3 Hopper. Walker's got him. Lead man gone. And right now, let's take a look at the White Sox upcoming games, brought to you by all the good folks at Pepsi AC. There you see tomorrow. Sox will leave after this afternoon's game. Head on up to Boston. We'll have that game for you tomorrow right here over WGN. A 4-game series starting tomorrow. And out on that mound, Frank fouls it back. It'll be John Snyder against Jin Ho Cho. Then on Saturday, James Baldwin's got the Well, he's got the bump against Pedro. On Sunday, Parquet against Brian Rose. And on Monday, Mike Sorotka will toe the hill for the Sox. There's the strike and the count 0-2. Frank, a strikeout victim.
Second 0-2 count he's gotten up there against Bradkey. Well, you know, we beat Pedro at Fenway earlier in the year. John Snyder, of course, John has not been scored upon by the Red Sox in his career. It's about 20 innings.
The ball hit hard as a gapper. Big Frank rounds first. He's on his way to second. He will get there with his 20th two-bagger. And our congratulations to the Big Hurt. Because why? That is hit number 1,500. Aparicio. Minoso. Well, he's at second with one down, and here's Maggs. Maggs grounded out to Brent Gates at third. Takes it right down the heart. Center cut. Picking him up. Maglio. Outfield playing him straight away. Maggs primarily an opposite field hitter. There's a chopper to Hopper. Guzman over to Comer. That's two out with Thomas in the third.
I got a note here from our good friend Sister Mary. Joe Lashover is here from the Washington Jane Smith home in Beverly, and he threw out the first pitch today, and he was Chuck Comiskey's paper boy. Joe Lashover. Welcome, Joe.
Made a pretty good peg, as a matter of fact.
That's coming from his experience as throwing those newspapers through Mr. Comiskey's windows.
Muscle memory. Carlos Lee stands in. Carlos 0 for 1. Change up strike.
Were you ever a paper boy?
No.
I was. People never paid me, you know that? I lost money.
That doesn't surprise me. High into left field. Ted Allen now gives way to Jacques Jones, and that'll retire the side. But the Big Hurt Frank Thomas picks up his 1,500 career hit. We'll go to the fourth. It's 1-0 good guy. 1-0 Sox here in the top of the fourth inning. 1-4-1 for the good kids. 6-0 for the Twinkies. And we got some email. I love email.
You do.
Yeah. This one coming from Sid says, after watching that thrilling game against the Orioles a few days ago, I realized that the Sox were really just an outstanding young ball club that does not give up. What do you think has gotten into this ball club, and why are they playing so much better than last year? Well, Sid, I think there are two reasons. First of all, Jerry Manuel's had more time to work with them. Some of those kids have more experience than they had at this time last season, and that man right there has created a tremendous attitude on this ball club.
Yep.
And that's the reason, even though the talent level was probably higher last year, this is a much more fun club to watch. Ron Coomer. They just will not quit. Last night, if you missed that ball game, they were trailing 12-3, and I really thought they were going to come back and win it when Frank hit that 3-run homer. They did come back. They lost it 12-10. Coomer chops that one away in the count 0-2. Ron, a 3-2 pitch into right field for a base hit his first trip.
Well, you know, Carlos Lee took a good rip at that pitch. Hit it deep to right center. I thought it had a chance, and off the bat, right there to the warning track.
Just off the corner. Nice try by Jamie. And if you want to email us, poof, here it is. Email address is soxtv@interaccess.com. soxtv@interaccess.com. If you want to email us today, we'll try to get some on the air tomorrow. from Fenway Park, as that's into right field. Mags, it should be a can of corn. It is.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It is.
It's an easy play from Mags.
Halfway up the screen over there.
Wimpy, you just got muscle memory. You're gauging that on how you would have played it.
Tell you what, I'm glad that thing didn't get any more lift than it did. Another 5 or 6 feet, and that would have been a homer. It's amazing how the ball's carrying this year.
That is a can of corn, my man.
Yeah, right.
Here's Corey Koski. He lined out hard to Carlos in left field. There's a chopper base hit right back through the middle. Oh, the 26-year-old third baseman, outfielder, now 1 for 2. And right now, let's check out our Aflac trivia question. Who is the only pitcher in Twins history to lead the American League in strikeouts? Dean Chance,
Bert Blyleven,
Mudcat Grant,
Camilo Pascual,
Jim Cott, Pedro Ramos, Camilo Pascual. Oh, they've had some good hurlers over the years.
Yeah.
Camilo Pascual, one of the probably as good, if not the best curveball. And Dutchman wasn't all bad.
I'm going to go with Tiante.
No, I don't think he was. When he was in Minnesota, he had a bad shoulder.
It's okay.
In fact, it was so bad he had a broken shoulder blade, as a matter of fact. That ball smoked in right field. I tell you, Chad Allen likes the ball out over the plate. He likes to get a little bigger, a big swing going for him. Meanwhile, he still has strong enough hands to get the head there.
He's got 7 hits in the series. And then you got a tough out at the plate in Terry Steinbach.
6 of those hits have been out over the plate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, Minnesota with 8 hits already in this ball game.
Steinbach reached on an error by Navarro. Couldn't get that one. Here's another email from Victor Jones, United States Air Force. Mount Home Air Force Base in Idaho. Says, out of our young ball club, whom do you think has a legitimate chance of making the All-Stars? Well, we talked about that a little bit earlier. In my opinion, Durham and Ordonez, as that's into right center field. Chris Singleton backing up, makes the catch, gets it back in, and that is out number 2 with Koski into third. Also, Victor Jones says, what's the status of Carlos Castillo? He's 7-4 at Charlotte, and he has 4 complete games. So Carlos, I understand, throwing the ball very well, because that is not a pitcher's ballpark.
Well, I guess not.
That is a good hitter's yard. And what trades do you think will come down the line before the trading deadline? Will the Sox be dealing? I don't think so. Victor, we've got some fine young players on this ball club. We got some fine young talent at the minor league level. Personally, I don't want to see any deals. I want these kids to have a chance to play. Here's Guzman. Takes that fastball outside. He grounded out to Ray Durham to end the 2nd inning. I mean, unless you could get somebody of extraordinary talent who was fairly young.
Yeah, if somebody's going to overwhelm you with something,
that's different.
then you got to make it.
But as far as just going out trying to, the way I look at it is right now, this club, after 68 games, is 34-34. And these youngsters are developing, they're learning, they're acquiring experience. And just to go out and get a 31, 32, 33-year-old veteran who might be a little more proficient at execution at this particular time. There's a base hit. Just slaps it into left field. So Koski scores. And this game is tied at 1.
That's a 9th hit already for Minnesota. They're just going with pitchers. Inside pitch, or just trying to go the other way, get the barrel of the bat on, and they have done an excellent job of that. That's the first real clutch hit they've gotten. But here's the guy, Jock Jones, who is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles.
I talked about it last night. I watched him take BP yesterday. And this young man, as he takes strike one, he's got some pop. He hit a couple. He came within about 4 rows of going over those bleachers out onto the concourse in right field yesterday. He can get some head speed.
Well, he's one of those kids who's got a closed stance and he's stepping right to the plate. I'll tell you what, you got to find out if this guy can hit that inside fastball.
I think every one of us we've seen so far.
Right there.
Jamie has thrown some good inside fastballs that appeared to have the corner. He just hadn't got them.
Hadn't gotten any of them. And like you pointed out, that you got to have that pitch.
Well, again, getting back to that umpiring in the strike zone, if they just call the inside strike, that would solve a lot of problems in a game of baseball.
Oh, man.
1-2 the count. Here's another email from Mark. Says, just wondering how Kip Wells is doing. Kip Wells, #1 draft pick last season. He was promoted from Winston-Salem, where he was leading that league in strikeouts, and he debuts today in Orlando for Birmingham. Mark, so Kip Wells has got great stuff. He and Aaron Mayette are going to be in that future All-Star game held just the day before the All-Star game in Boston. That's off the outside corner, and the count evens at 2. Kip Wells is going to be in the big leagues, and he's going to be a good one. Aaron Mayette, real fine arm. Nardi Contreras, and another guy who does a terrific job, Kirk Champion, pitching coach in Charlotte. Nardi and Kirk converse. They talk about working on things with guys. There's a ground ball. Frank makes a nice stop, throws the ball away. Here comes Allen. He scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Tried to get a little anxious right there and do a little too much.
Well, the underhand flip doesn't work from that distance. It's a very awkward throw. You see Frank getting down. He's got to throw this one overhand. See right there, that underhand from the knees, there's just no chance of being accurate with it. Good strong over the hand throw would have gotten him.
They're not going to give him a base hit on that. I'd give him a base hit in the era. But Bob Rosenberg's a fine scorer. Meanwhile, Twinkies lead at 2-1. And here's Brent Gates. Base hit right here really hurts. Gates 1 for 2, a single, hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Breaking ball low. Now when a pitcher can't get that inside strike, and he knows he's thrown a few in there and he's not going to get a call, it changes his whole way of having to go around. It's tough to have to pitch away. There's a strike call and the count 1-1. Takes away the aggressiveness of the pitcher. And even the pitch selection. By that I mean a lot of times it'll make him go more to the 2-seam than a 4-seam. Here's the 2-1. Wow. Nice pick right there by Fordyce. Last time we had Jim Joyce behind the plate, he was calling the inside strike. Not so today.
He's not today, that's for sure.
Good fastball. He was tardy, and the count is full. Take him right here, Jamie. Gotta load him up. So sacks packed with Twins. 2 gone here in the top of the 4th. 2-9-0 for Minnesota. 1-4-2 for the Sox. Walker has fly deep to left, and he has a bunt single. That ball hit into center field. Singleton going back. He's there on the track. Hauls it in. And that'll retire the side. But the Twins pick up a 2 spot. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing by 1. I love that hat. Look at the eyes. Boy, you talking about alert. Wow.
Beautiful.
That baby, beautiful baby nose is 2-1 Minnesota. Chris Singleton, who made a fine catch with the bases loaded off the bat of Todd Walker. Boy, he got a good jump on that deep line shot. Dead over his head will lead it off. He is 1 for 1, a double, and he has scored the only Sox run. And here's that catch. The jump he got really was nice. He dropped straight back, did not waste a half a step. There's the strike. Look at this. As soon as that ball's hit, he just drops straight back. That's a tough play for the center field when that ball's hit right over your head. He made it look easy. That's inside. 2-1. Out in front. Now we talked about Chris, how he has just come on in spring training, did not have that good a spring. Brian Simmons really had emerged the last 2 weeks or so as front runner for the center field job. Then Brian slid into second, cut his hand, had to go down to Charlotte. And since that time, he's been scuffling. But Singleton, as he just fists this one, he just muscles that one over the shortstop's head. So Chris, who was hitting an even 300, leads it off with a soft single to the left.
He'll take it on a 2-2 pitch. Some jamage, but he follows through with that swing. You see, it's very compact. Chris now at 7 hits in this series. Come on, Norton, bring him around.
Norton drew a walk his first at bat. But we've talked several times about just how tough that outfield is in Tucson to play with the wind, the high sky, and the sun. And we saw some good outfielders really look foolish on some fly balls, and everybody was having trouble. But since his bell has rung and the season started, Chris has made all the catches. That is a tough outfielder in Tucson.
Oh, jeez. It's awful. You got to ground the cover. You got that sky, the blue sky and the sun. It just.
And that wind.
You play there, you play anywhere. It's like San Francisco a lot.
Singleton with that single and double. He is now 7 for 11 in this series. Jeff Leafer on deck. Outfield just about straight up. Ball gets away from Steinbach, so Singleton will mosey on into second.
All right.
So Norton's job, get him over.
Yep.
Norton, you're the greatest. Tried to do it, got it out in front, hooked it foul. Most of the action under the lights, one of the game underway. Top of the 4th inning in Kansas City. Royals shutting out the Tigers 2-0. Over in the National League, Cubs just getting underway at Coors Field. Pittsburgh in the bottom of the 6th at home. Check that at Philadelphia, trailing the Phillies 7-3. He'll get the job done. Ball hit hard. So 1 out and Singleton in the 3rd. So with 1 out, let's check out our Aflac Trivia question and answer. Who is the only pitcher in Twins history to lead the American League in strikeouts? The answer is Camilo Pascual, 61, 2 and 3. In 63, he got me. I'm a huge part of that number.
Are you the reason?
Could be very well the reason.
Oh, what great stuff he had, huh?
You're right. High fastball and a great curveball.
Great
He threw
hook,
hard.
yeah.
Here's Leifer. Takes a strike. Now, there's an inside corner strike he called. Jeff, an RBI in the 2nd. Knocked in Singleton. 2-9-0 for the Twins and 1-5-2 for the Sox. That's inside. Well, Camilo Pascual is the only guy I've ever seen strike out 3 guys in 1 inning sitting on their fanny. One of them was a left-handed hitter.
I've never seen that before.
I haven't either. I haven't seen it since. And I was one of those 3.
You didn't hang around to see if it was going to break?
No chance. Ball ripped foul. I was looking dead red every pitch.
Yeah, you get 3 of them over.
Well, Calavito was the first guy. He got Rocky on a big sweeping curveball. Rocky went down. Rocky got called out. I was the next one. He got me sitting on my fanny, and then Jim Gentile threw him a big slow curveball. And Diamond had that big, that big stride. He got out there so far he couldn't stop it. Went right on his fanny. He grabbed some bench. Jeff's got a battle now. The count 1-2. Fastball. Good pitch right there by Radke. Got it in on the fist, and Leifer fought it off.
Well, the thing is, you have to do against Radke, when you get the opportunity, you got to put that run across. Without the benefit of a base hit, they are going to try and cut it off at home plate. Radke awfully tough to have a big inning against.
Steinbach. That ball hit hard there by Kuma. So Leifer will pull up at first with his 2nd single, his 2nd RBI, and this game is tied at 2. Attaboy, Jeff.
That was a high changeup. And he was able to turn on it. Certainly a mistake by Brad Radke. Watch him loading up right there. Recognizes it. That's about belt high. Took advantage of the mistake.
So here's Fordyce. Hit a little nubber off the end of the bat that Radke threw him out on. Leifer just a decent lead. Not a whole bunch Dick Such can say. It was just a high change, as Wimpy mentioned. Just a bad pitch. And Leifer made him pay as the count evens at 1 to Fordyce. Looks a little bit like Puff, doesn't he?
Puff.
Greg Nettles.
Ah, there's some puffness there.
There goes Leifer. Ball foul down at the plate. Greg Nettles, what a great third baseman he was.
Good hitter, too. Well, you throw him a fastball.
One of the best fastball hitters to ever put a jockstrap on.
Great high fastball hitter. You don't see that many left-handed hitters. No. Or he could hit it up or down, but here's something. Hey, great to see.
One out, and the 1-2 pitch. Jammed him. Ray Durham on deck. Got him. So Brook having a little trouble right here in his first 2 at-bats with the slants of Brad Radke. And that's out number 2. Second strikeout for the 26-year-old right-hander. And here comes Ray. Ray had a bunt single, a stolen base in the first. He popped up to the shortstop in the second. Light him up, Ray. Take him out of here. Looks at that pitch down low. Outfield fairly deep. So Leifer with 2 out. He's got a pretty good lead. He stretched it out there. Yes, there's a ground ball. That's by. Todd Walker, Leifer on his way to third. He'll make it. And with 2 out, Sox have runners at the corners. Great speed at first.
Like a routine ground ball right there, but Walker is playing over towards second base. So Ray found the big opening with the runner being held on.
So here's Caruso. Nice fly to right and grounded to second. Steinbach going through his signs. In case Durham takes off, what he's going to do. Ray picked up that 10th stolen base in the first inning, as we mentioned. There's a bunt. Got to hurry. And they just do get him. A little bit harder, and that was going to be a bunt single and an RBI. But it wasn't, and we'll go to the 5th, tied at 2. But Olympia Fields, John Spiropoulos, the head pro. They did a wonderful job for that event.
Oh, that was fun. Great event. There's the first pitch of the top of the 5th inning. Jamie Navarro delivers to Marty Cordova. The only thing wrong with that event was Danny Evans' shorts.
Ditto.
2-hopper. Norton. He threw it in the area. Frank puts a tag on him, so there's 1 up, 1 down. Boy, a lot of hits so far in this ball game. 9 for the Twins, 7 for the Sox through 4 innings.
Now, Danny told me about those shorts. I asked him about them. He said that Susie dressed him that day.
Really? Yeah. Boy, the black socks with the brown wingtip shoes really enhanced that outfit.
It couldn't have hurt it.
Like an old shower curtain. Here's Coomer, 1 for 2, a single in the second inning. There's fastball misses away. Ronnie hitting at 290. There's TK working himself into a frenzy, trying to cheer his Chargers on. They have 9 hits, 2 runs through 4 against Jamie Navarro. There's a shot, 1 hopper. Norton. He got him. 2 down.
And want to send out a happy birthday to the executive producer of sports for WGN yesterday, Bob Vorwald.
All right.
29 years young.
That's wonderful, isn't it? I hope I look that good when I'm 29. Here's Corey Koski. Jamie looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of this ball game. Well, the Twins have stranded 7 base runners through 4 innings, so they have had ample opportunities. Sox have made 2 errors to go with those 9 hits, so you got to feel fortunate there's only 2 runs on the board. That one misses in. 2-0. Koski singled and scored last inning. (3-0). Chad Allen, who is just lighting up the Sox in this series, is on deck. Allen with 7 hits. There's a strike. 3-1. Chris Singleton shading Koski over towards left center. There's a grounder, base hit in the hole. So the Twins are in double digits. Fortunately, that comes with 2 out. And Koski is 2 for 3. So here's Chad Allen. He's got his average up over 300, 306 as a matter of fact. 6 homers, 22 runs batted in. Koski 0 for 1 in stolen base attempts on the season. Twins have pilfered 53 on the year. Been caught now 27 times. Whereas the Sox have 44 and been caught 24 times. Can't get the slider. 0-1. There is other action going on right now in the major leagues. Kansas City leads Detroit 2-0. They're in the 4th inning. Boy, Tigers took one on the chin last night. That slider misses. 1-1. Well, the Tribe continues to roll on. They still have the best record in baseball, 47-22. Sox are in 2nd place. Kansas City, Detroit, and Minnesota bring up the rear. All 3 of those teams have won just 3 of their last 7. There's a good fastball strike inside corner. 1-2 on Allen.
First one he's gotten in this game.
Yeah. All other activity in the American League is tonight.
Because Allen's so far off the plate, he's more prone to maybe get an inside strike.
Well, look how far out he's setting. Runner goes. There's a grounder off Navarro. He regroups. The throw. Got him. Nice play by Jamie. And they finally get Allen out today. So a runner stranded and halfway home. We are tied at 2.
On today's Discover Card Platinum Payback Playback on this date in 1991, Frank Thomas faced Seattle Mariners right-hander Mike Jackson with the bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Thomas' first career Grand Slam lifted the Sox to a 6-2 victory over the visiting M's on this date in 1991.
A big moment for Frank Thomas, and I'll tell you, he was hitting from a crouch back then.
Would you get off the crouch?
I don't know. He was just the best hitter in the world when he was hitting from that crouch.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Well, we'll see what he can do against Brad Radke here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pops this one up, out of play.
That's a shank.
Well,
Duke.
Yes, sir. Frank is 1 for 2. He doubled in the 3rd. Strikeout victim in the 1st inning. There, Frank. Now straight up, feet real close together. He rips this one into left field. Like a changeup from Radke.
That's what it was.
So the leadoff single. The Sox now with 8 hits, 18 hits in this ball game, and we're just in the bottom of the 5th inning, and only 4 runs have been scored. Scoreboard shot, there you see it. Sox have made 2 errors, so they have given the Twins a couple more opportunities. Great shots. Tell you the
Gilmore's the
story.
master of the scoreboard shot.
Oh, it's the best. There's Maggs, couple of ground outs, and that's what the Twins are looking for right now. DP lane. Pitch fouled off to the right. Maggs hitting at .330. 13 homers, 54 runs batted in. Well, the Sox have stranded 6 through 4 innings. Twins have stranded 8 through 5. Ooh, he got a pretty good pitch to hit right there and fouls it off the catcher.
He got caught right in between. Looked like he may have had the specter of that changeup or occasional breaking ball that Radke throws in the back of his mind. Got a good pitch to hit. Just couldn't get there.
So the outfield very deep and straight away for Maggs. The 0-2 pitch coming. They want it inside. Fastball jammed him, looped into center field. Yes, we'll take that one. Frank will pull up at second. So runners at first and second. Nobody out.
Boy, if that ball had been hit just a little easier, that would have been vintage Wimpy.
Yeah. Of course, the guy would have probably caught it if I was hitting, though.
Well, he wouldn't have been playing quite as
too deep. No. Ow!
Here's what you call a duck snort. Good pitch by Radke, and Maggs just beat him on it.
Yeah. 0-2. Fastball right in where he wanted it. So here's Carlos Lee with Singleton on deck. So the Sox have a good chance. A couple of the young studs coming up here. Carlos is 0 for 2. A couple of flyouts. And he loops this one into left field. There's a base hit. Front of Allen. Frank's going to be held up as the throw gets back into the infield very quickly. So 3 straight singles. And here we go. Boy, here's a guy you want up there too. Chris Singleton with 7 hits in this series. He's 2 for 2. And he has scored the 2 Sox runs. So what an opportunity he has here. Chris batting at .304.
Well, here's where the young players have to learn, and the only way you can learn it is by being in this position. Time after time, he's got the bases loaded. A lot of times, young players get themselves in a mode that they are on defense at the plate, when really the pitcher is on defense. When you got the bases loaded, nobody out. But Chris has been swinging that bat well.
Well, they're in at the corners. They're going to play for 2 in the middle of the field. He pops this one. Oh, get out of here.
What happens a lot of times with young hitters or rookies in situations like this versus nobody on when they're at the plate is they have a tendency, a little tension creeps into their arms and hands and of course of mind, and they have a tendency to swing at some pitches that are a little out of the zone. Now all of a sudden you get 0-1, 0-2, 1-2.
Yeah, you grip that bat a little tighter. There's Bob Wells in the Minnesota bullpen, veteran right-hander. Chris pops this one up. He got jammed on that pitch. I'll tell you what, you're right. When you add the tension factor into the thing, you lose a lot of bat speed.
Well, it's not unlike, you know, a golfer with a 4-footer on the first hole versus a 4-footer on the 18th hole. It's a lot easier to make that 4-footer on the first hole than it is on the 18th with a cash.
It is?
Not you, Duke. You know, I'm talking about the normal human being.
Okay. Figure I had no chance on
either one.
Either or. Got to do some battling right here. The 0-2 pitch coming up to Singleton. Sets up outside. Change up, looped in the center. That should be deep enough.
Yep.
Jones makes the catch. Here comes Frank. There goes the throw. It's offline. Sox lead it 3-2.
Good job by Chris Singleton right there. Down in the count, 0-2 to a fine pitcher in Brad Radke. And Radke throws him the all-speed pitch, something he can put into play. I thought it was a bad selection by the Twins rather than go ahead and bust him inside with something hard.
Yeah, go for the strikeout.
So he makes a bit of a bad pitch, and Chris makes him pay.
Well, you know, right,
back.
Yeah. And see, right there, Chris is in that defensive posture. You can't throw the ball far enough outside where he's not going to reach it. You know, that might have been a good pitch on a certain hitter, but right on Singleton, he's going to put that ball into play.
Or a good pitch with nobody on.
Yeah.
But when you got a man on third base, in this case the base is loaded, nobody out, you give him an off-speed pitch, it's up just a little bit, give him a chance to put it in play. That is not a good selection, especially when you throw 2 fastballs by him. Inside he had no chance on.
Right. And the changeup is a fly ball pitch. So here's Norton. Greg got the job done his last time up. Instead of Jeff Leifer, who has 2 RBIs this ball game. Strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to Norton. Sox with 3 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. 2-10-0 for Minnesota. 20 hits in this game. We're only in the 5th. Threw the fastball right by him. So the count goes to 1-2. As you look at Carlos Lee, the runner at first base. Mags Ordonez, good speed at second. And Carlos runs pretty well for a big guy also. Leifer is 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs in the on-deck circle. Here's the 1-2 to Norton. They want it inside. Fastball popped him up. That'll be the infield fly rule.
As a rule against young hitters, when you get in situations like this, you're going to have to try to get them out. You're better off trying to get them out hard in.
Yeah, you saw what happened right there. Busted Norton in with a 1-2 fastball and got him. So Matt Radke trying to minimize the damage here. That'd be a great job. Bases loaded, nobody out. If he gets away with just 1 run, that is some super work. But Leifer is 2 for 2 with the 2 RBIs.
I got a feeling he better make some good pitches on Jeff right here.
I think he's got to throw him fastball. There's a drive to center field. Jones coming on. That's going to drop. So Mags will score. The throw goes to third. Leifer is 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. Sox lead it 4-2. How about that?
As we talked about, the 24-year-old first baseman outfielder Jeff Leifer, Sox #1 pick a few years ago. He's going to be, and he's got a chance to be, let's put it that way, he's got a chance to be a terrific offensive player. He is strong. All he needs is just to look in that mirror and understand that I belong in the big leagues, Jeff. He's getting there. Hard to do it. He's probably had the toughest scenario of all our young players on this club all year long, with the sporadic at-bats and playing time that he's had.
Yeah, that's very true. He had 80 at-bats coming into this ball game, but there was no consistency to them. Here's Fordyce. Brook having some trouble against Radke. Hit one nubber off the end of the bat to the pitcher, and there's a nubber to short. Guzman, off balance throw gets him, but Sox come up with 2, and after 5 they lead it 4-2.
It's the top of the 6th inning. 4 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the good guys. 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Twinkies. Jamie Navarro taking his warm-up tosses, and while he does, right now let's check out our Sox minor league report for you. There you see it, Charlotte. Boy, Raven leads that league with 62 RBIs. Mario Valdez 4th in the league on base percentage. Chad Mottola got 12 homers and over 50 RBIs. 569 slugging percentage. Kevin Byrne 5-2 with a 3.96 in a hitter's ballpark. Birmingham, Pat Daneker 5th in the league with 3.08. That's a good ERA down there. Rich out. Carlos Chantres 2nd in the league with a 2.91 ERA. As we get set to go here in the top of the 6th. First pitch is Terry Steinbach outside. 1-0. Steinbach has reached on an error, and he is flying to center. Gets fisted right there, flips it in foul territory.
Well, it seems like everything's finding holes today.
Yeah.
Both teams.
I
Ground
also
balls.
understand that down at Bristol, they're having a rain delay from their workout prior to their game. All the youngsters down at Bristol watching the game this afternoon over WGN. Marcellus Manuel, the nephew of Jerry. And Chad Durham, Ray's brother. He's got 10 stolen bases in 6 games down there.
How's Casey Harrelson doing?
Casey, 0 for 0. He scored a run. Walked. He's hanging in there.
Yeah.
There's a little fister. Mags. A big Sox hello to all their farm teams. Most of the guys watch the games over WGN, especially in the afternoons when they're not playing.
Right.
We got some good players down in the system, and some more they just signed. You know, it's one thing to have a great draft like the Sox had, and it's another thing to go out and sign them.
Yeah.
Sox are going out and sign these guys. They sign their first and second round draft choices. Some clubs have a pretty good draft, but they just can't come to terms with them. Here's Guzman, the shortstop. That's out of play left side. He's 1 for 2. Knocked in a run back in the 4th inning. Okay, Kenny Williams and his staff have done a wonderful job. Jim Snyder, all the guys, they work their fannies off. That's a tough job.
Whoa.
Minor league manager, minor league coach. It is countless hours. You gotta love it, and they do. There's a bunt. Jamie can't get there. That's a base. That's a beautiful bunt.
Boy, we've been seeing some great bunts in this game. Both teams. Walker with a great one, Durham with a good one, and now Guzman. Well, he just kind of takes it with him. Once he gets it by Jamie Navarro, nobody's going to make this play. Ray coming on really had no chance. So 11 hits now for the Twins.
Here's Jacques Jones. It's 2 for 3. Been on base all 3 times. Taking some other scores for you after 2.5 out at Coors Field in Denver. Cubs leading the Rockies 5-1. Hernandez has hit his 8th homer. That's Tapani against Jones. Phillies beat the Pirates 7-5 at Veterans Stadium. Brant Brown, Ed Sprague, Brian Giles all went deep in that game. That pitch outside. Expos leading the Braves 2-1. Bottom of the 8th down in Atlanta. Hermanson and Smoltz on the bumps. Couldn't get that high one. After 7 at Shea Stadium, a 2-2 tie. The Fish and the Metropolitans. After 5 innings at Kauffman Stadium, Royals leading the Tigers 4-3. Gabe Kapler is homer for the 2nd day in a row. That's number 12. Carlos Fables, good-looking young second baseman. He is at number 6. Later on, Blue Jays host the Tribe at Skydome. Burba against Halladay. Yankees are at Tropicana against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Pettit against Ricard. Threw that one by. So a 1-2 count to Jacques Jones. Jamie Navarro got himself a 2-run lead here in the top of the 6th. Jones really goes across his body. swinging that bat. Not unlike a pitcher throwing across his body, delivering the pitch to home plate.
Well, if that pitch is away, it's okay because he's going right with it.
Right.
Boy, I'll tell you what, when you throw in some inside cheese, and he is going across his body.
Well, the way he's going out there and diving, if you throw him an inside fastball and he hits it hard, it is going to be dead foul.
Yeah. Unless he has some incredible ability to keep it fair.
I like his setup at the plate.
Yeah.
He's cutting and slashing.
Yeah, he is. He was from USC, where he was a third-team All-America in 1996. And he played on the Olympic team. We got Scott Air warming in the Sox bullpen.
Once again, the 1-2 delivery. So a big pitch coming up right here. You want to take him on 2-2, Jamie. Navarro in his career has won 113 times. He has lost 112. Ground ball. Big Frank can't get there. That'll be a base hit. So Guzman turns second. He'll move into third. Runners at the corners. 1 out. And before Brent Gates makes his way up there, let's pause for our station identification.
This is America's #1 sports station, WGN, Chicago.
On with Tom Detroit, Ken Harrelson from Comiskey Park. Finale of this homestand and this 3-game set with Minnesota. It's a rubber match. 23 hits in this ball game, and there have been some hit hard, and there have been some seeing eye on both sides. Gates is 1 for 2. He had a solid single in the first. He also has walked. That's the only base on balls issued by Navarro. Jamie has yet to strike out anybody. Radke has walked 1. He has 2 strikeouts.
A couple of scrappy teams going at each other this afternoon. Contact teams.
Close pitch didn't get it, and the count 2-0. 13,246 in attendance.
I'll tell you, the guy who might be swinging the bat the best in his lineup today is in the on-deck circle, Todd Walker. He's hit the ball well twice. He also has that bunt hit.
He scalded 2 of them. One deep to left and one a line shot right over the head of Chris Singleton. Chris made a good play on it. A terrific jump.
Yeah, with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Meanwhile, he's got to deal with Gates, who has himself in command at 2-0. There's a fastball strike on the corner. Pretty good lead by Jones as the count moves to 3-1. There's a strike. Good one. Right on the outside edge, so a full count. Now Jerry White, the first base coach, goes over to say something to Jacques Jones as Ron Gardenhire at third goes through his sequence of signs. Got to strike him out, throw him out.
Yeah, well, you got to think this guy's going because Gates is not easy to strike out. Good contact man. And Jones should be able to get a good jump at first, stay out of that double play possibility.
He takes off. Little chopper right over the head of Navarro. Caruso has to come in and get it. He throws him out. 2 gone. Guzman scores, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Boy, I'll tell you, if he had swung and missed that, that could have been a strike. I'll throw him out. So 2 out here, and Jerry Manuel will skipper out of the dugout. So that bunt single by Guzman with 1 out started things off. Then the base hit, the seeing eye base hit between first and second by Jock Jones. The infield ground out by Gates. And Jerry Manuel has made the call to the pen. So Jamie Navarro, he'll work 5 2/3. He'll depart. We'll be back. Jamie Navarro will depart with 2 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Sox on top 4-3. Ran 103 pitches up to the plate this afternoon. That's a lot of pitches. 5 2/3, but gave up the 12 hits. A lot of them, as you mentioned, some of them were hit solid, and some of them were just finding holes. The same thing for the Sox on their 4 runs, 11 hits off Brad Radke. Some solid, some just finding the holes. So it's been one of those days for the hitters.
Boy, it really has. You look at Scott Ehret. Has pitched 2 innings, given up 3 hits, a homer, a walk, and a strikeout. So his job right here is to get Todd Walker, who swung the bat real well against Jamie, although he was just 1 for 3.
And a reminder, Friday, July 9th at 7:05, Cubs are here at Comiskey Park. It'll be White Sox T-shirts from Miller Lite. First 15,000 adults 21 and over will receive those White Sox T-shirts from Miller Lite. So for tickets, dial 312-831-1-SOX. So here's Walker with the tying run at second. We mentioned his first at bat took Carlos Lee way back out there in left field. I thought it was out of here. Carlos made a nice catch in the bunt single. Then the line shot over the head of Singleton that he ran down. One of the things about left-handed relievers coming in to face a left-handed hitter, especially in a big situation like this, learning how to get first ball breaking ball over is paramount. Unless you get yourself, a 95-mile-an-hour fastball and you're strictly a fastball pitcher, and that's a different story. But 98% of the left-handed relievers coming in have got to learn how to get first pitch breaking ball over. Is a prerequisite to being successful. 2-0 the count to Walker. There's a strike. Well, here, as we mentioned, looks like he shortened his stride up a little bit, which will give him a better breaking pitch and a little more movement on that fastball.
Walker hitting just 132 against lefties this year.
That ball hit hard right at Carlos Lee. He's there, reaches up in his tracks almost, hauls it in, and that'll retire the side. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It's a 1-run ball game. Sox by 1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It'll be the top of the order. Ray Durham to lead off. He'll be followed by Caruso and Thomas. Ray 2 for 3 in this game. A bunt single, a stolen base in the first, a single in the fourth. 26-year-old right-hander Brad Radke. He of the outstanding changeup Radkes. Turns that one over, sinks it, and the count 1-0.
Hey, great shirt.
Start us off, Ray. Flips that one foul. Ray hitting at .311. Tries to bunt it, pops it foul, and back and out of play. Radke in his career 1 game under the 500 mark, and he's got some tough teams to play with. He's 59 and 60. So he gets out in front, hammers that one foul down past Brian Little.
Well, Radke was a 20-game winner for the Twins in 1997. 20 and 10, a 3.87 ERA. Terrific year. But every other year has been under 500. But you mentioned that he hasn't played on the juggernaut type teams.
There's a chopper. Guzman was going
Whoa.
cheating to his right as the pitch was being delivered, and he got burned right there. Still, I like it. I like those young shortstops and second basemen a little cheap. But that time it didn't work out, so Durham 3 for 4. More importantly, the leadoff man aboard.
He got burned right here. It looked like a routine grounder to the shortstop. You see Ray going with the pitch up and out over the plate. But Guzman guessed he was going to hit it in the hole between short and third.
So Durham with 10 stolen bases. Here's Mike. He's 0 for 3. See what Jerry Manuel wants to do. Gates in on the grass. Well in on the grass at third.
Caruso. Durham has sacrificed his second. The play goes
Scoring position.
Boy, he just caught that one with the end of the bat. Some great bunts have been dropped down today by both.
He waited for the pitch, dropped the bunt, and then took off for first base. Frank Thomas struck out in the first inning. Double to right center in the third and was left on base. Single and
5 when the Royals are in town is Ladies' Day. Tickets for women of all ages are $1 if purchased at the box office on the day of the game. That's Thursday, July 8th, Ladies' Day.
Ladies.
Frank hitting an even .333. Takes first pitch strike on the outside half. That's inside. Outfield playing him straight up. This Minnesota outfield does not move around a whole bunch.
You see Bob Wells. Well, most of those teams that play in dome stadiums with the artificial surface aren't going to do that. They're going to give the lines and bunch in the outfield. And they have a tendency to do that on regular fields as well. Oh boy, Ray had that one.
That is stolen as Frank fouls it off. Now the big hurt. Down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. 4-12-2 for the Sox. 3-12-0 for the Twins. Checks it up. Nice try right there by Brad Radke. Tried to nip that inside corner, but if he missed, he was going to miss in. So we saw Mike Soroka last night. Mike, as we mentioned, did not have bad stuff, but he just made a lot of bad pitches trying to get him in. Missed out over the plate. Look at this. Is that vintage big hurt or what? Ray's going to score. Frank on his way to second. Here's the throw. Not in time. Ball gets away. Now Frank's going to go to third. Is anybody there? No. Good hustle by the big hurt, and it's a 5-3 ball game.
take that one. Frank gets his 49th RBI of the season. And there'll be an error. Look at this. He sounded like a cracked bat right down the first baseline. Frank just blocks out Guzman with that big body of his, and he wins the race to third.
So some good hustle by the big man. Here's Tom Kelly. He's going to take the ball from Radke. So Brad Radke will work 5 1/3. There's a break in the action, and we'll be back to tell you about the right-hander Bob Wells.
You didn't think they could do it again this year.
Dealer now. It was a 4.
Bob Wells comes to work for the Twins. He's 4-1 with a 4.03 earned run average in 35 games. The opponents are batting .247 against Bob. 42 hits and 44 2/3, 5 long ones, 15 walks, and 21 strikeouts. For the former Mariner, as you look at Jose Estefan and the Comiskey Park Sound Machine, entertaining between innings. He can do it. There's Frank Thomas, who just doubled, driving in his 49th run of the season, got to third on the bad throw. So he sets up Mags Ordonez very nicely, thank you. Runner at third and 1 out. Sides trying to add on to this 5-3 lead and win the rubber game of this 3-game series with Minnesota before heading out to Beantown. And the Boston Red Sox, who are having a good season for themselves. Boston, coming into today's action, is 41-30. They're just a game back of the Yankees, the world champions. And Boston has won 7 of their last 10. And our next telecast on WGN Sports will be tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time, from Fenway Park. Who's the pitcher pitching? Hawk-a-Roo?
Snyder and Jin Ho Cho.
Yeah.
Well, they actually got Jin Ho Cho listed for today, so we'll have to find out as Mag stands in. Infield, they're close. First pitch. Who had a pitch to put into play and fouls it away upper tank. 5-13-2 for the Sox, 3-12-1 for the Twins. Sox on a 7-game road trip, 4 in Boston and 3 in Kansas City. Ooh, another good pitch stealer.
Wow, he hadn't missed too many of them this year like that.
No, Mags has been really, he's been the most consistent offensive player on this ball club all season long from day one.
Well, one of the most consistent in the league.
Well, you remember first month of the season, he was hitting line shots all over the ballpark, right at people.
And then they start falling in.
Does a good job right there just to fight off that pitch on the outside corner. Activity. Look at the southpaw Travis Miller.
Yeah, the way this game's going, you got to feel like Minnesota's going to not leave those guys on base. They've had so many opportunities to score. So it would behoove Mags to pick up this run, even if he doesn't have to get a hit in order to do it.
Made a good pitch on him, popped him up. So Mags had a couple of pitches to put into play. As now it could be a little collision as Coomer and Guzman were calling for it as Coomer with a catch, and that's a big out, 2 gone. There's just in the bat from a hitting standpoint, you blame yourself. You had 2 pitches to put into play, you couldn't do it. And then he makes a good pitch on you, and you pop it up. So here's Carlos. Carlos twice has flied to center, and he also has singled. He'll get him in. he had a good pitch to hit. So Wells, Bobby's skating on a little thin ice right here. He's made some mistakes and gotten away with them. Whew. And that's all hitting and pitching is. Mistakes. And the pitcher and the hitter's got to capitalize on them. You're not going to hit good pitches hard very often. That's way inside. Chris Singleton on deck. Time back to the outside. That pitch up high and the count 2-1. So Carlos taking those pitches very nicely. Very little head movement. Seems to be staying back extremely well. And staying back is big. Once again, Steinbach to the outside. Oh, man, he got a hanger. He's upset with himself. Pounds the bat on the ground. Pops it up. Watch out. There is the center fielder. Jacques Jones makes the catch. That'll retire the side, but the Sox pick up another one. And we'll go to the 7th. They lead it 5-3. We're into the top of the 7th as you peruse our Southwest Airlines tail of the tape. Sox by 2. And a pitching change, Duke.
Well, Keith Folt comes in. Scott Air did his job. He got the one batter he faced. That was Todd Walker on a liner to left. So Keith, 0-1, a .284 earned run average, 3 saves. 201 is what the league's hitting off, and that's good. 33 hits and 44 1/3. He has punched out 45 while walking just 12.
Marty Cordova cannot get it, and a count 0-1. Cordova 0 for 3, hit into a 4-6-3 double play in the first, hit into a fielder's choice in the third, and grounded out to Norton, leading off the 5th. Breaking ball strike, and a count 0-2. Outfield straight up, spread out. Good pitch by Falk in on the fist. He had no chance. Flips it foul, and that'll be out of play. So the Sox with 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Twins with 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 6th. That's pretty good. That'll work right there.
Yeah, that's real good.
He's gone. He'll grab some bench after Fordyce throws him out. 1 gone. With 1 out, that'll bring up the first baseman, Ron Coomer. Coomer is single, flied to right, and grounded to third. You'd have to say in the last month, Wimpy, that including Radke, nobody in this league, no right-hander in this league has had a better changeup than Falk.
Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, he has just been terrific. That last graphic will illustrate that. He's been pinpoint with his fastball that really sets up that changeup so well.
Well, he's been able to go both ways. That's the thing that's been impressive. He's been able to use the changeup to set the fastball up on certain hitters, and he's been able to use the fastball to set the changeup, especially on left-handed hitters.
Yeah. Well, the key was he hasn't been pitching in this type of count situation, though. 2-0 to Ron Coomer right here. He's been grabbing strike 1 very early in the count.
Out in front, hooks that one foul. And a reminder, Friday, July 2nd at 7:05 when the Red Sox are in town. It'll be pre-Independence Day fireworks presented by Ameritech. So for tickets, dial 312-831-1 Sox. That's Friday, July 2nd pre-Independence Day fireworks presented by Ameritech.
Here's Travis Miller, the left-hander, in the Twins bullpen.
There's that change. Boy, he had him way off balance, way off stride. That beautiful motion of Keith Polk. Now there is an art to throwing a changeup like that, and like a Brad Radke when he is right. Out in front again. It's like Wimpy and I have talked about so often. From a hitting standpoint, it's much easier to go to the plate and face a guy throwing 97, 98, who's basically a one-pitch pitcher, than a guy who's got a great changeup and a decent fastball if it tops out even at 88. Give me that 100-mile-an-hour heater.
Oh, absolutely. You got a better chance.
Unless that 100-mile-an-hour heater's got movement now. Either way, you're dead. Whoops. Checks it up. He did not go. Eric Cooper, first base umpire. So a full count to the 32-year-old veteran, Ron Coomer. Corey Koski on deck, with a couple of base hits in this game. Fastball right back underneath Jack Gould. Changeup definitely is working his way back in. There for about 10-12 years, it was virtually a non-existent pitch. He's gone. He'll grab some bench, and it is out number 2.
That's a fastball right there down.
Yeah.
I think Coomer had in the back of his mind that the changeup was coming, and he just couldn't dial it up.
So here's Koski. Line drive to left, 2 singles, and he has scored a run. Yeah, there for about maybe 10 or 15 years. There's that change. It was a split finger. Everybody went to the splitter. Everybody abandoned their changeup. And the splitter was a good pitch for a while, but it took its toll on a lot of elbows.
Yeah.
And now the change is possibly the pitch. The new pitch besides the fastball for the new millennium. But he'll fall back. Somebody will come up with something else, you know. Everything in baseball is cycle. Just like you're a very cyclical person, you know? Yeah, he gets sawed off right there. Flips it. Get foul. It will, thank you. About a couple of feet.
Everything's finding a hole today. 25 hits in this ball game. Surprisingly, just 8 runs have been scored. A couple of Green Beret in attendance today.
And he's a happy camper. So 1-2. Koski now, he'll back it out. Chad Allen on deck if Koski can reach. Good job by Koski to lay off that one. Just a little bit low out of the zone, and that evens the count at 2. Fouls that pitch back. I think what Wimpy and I were talking about just a moment ago is the fact, if you want an analogy, for me, I'd rather face a guy like Randy Johnson than face a guy like Jamie Moyer. Ooh. Because I would have had absolutely no, not that I got a great chance against Randy, but I'd had no chance against Moyer with that changeup he's got, plus that fastball the way he can spot it inside.
Yeah.
That's popped up. Come on, Carlos. He ambles over. He's got room. He's there fighting the sun a little bit, makes the catch. So Falk with a 1-2-3 inning. 7th inning stretch. Sox lead at 5-3.
Here's our Major League Scoreboard brought to you by Miller Lite. Kansas City trailing Detroit now 5-4 in the 8th inning at Kauffman. Cleveland is at Toronto tonight. Verb against Halladay, and the Yankees play at Tampa Bay this evening. Boston is at Baltimore. Mussina going after victory number 10 tonight. Oakland plays at Texas, and the Anaheim Angels are at Seattle. In the National League, Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh 7-5 at Veterans Stadium. A 2-2 tie, Montreal at Atlanta at Turner Field. They're in the 9th inning. And the Florida Fish, the Fighting Fish, the Marlins came up to beat the Mets 3-2 at Shea. Cubs lead Colorado 5-4. They're in the 5th inning at Coors. Cincinnati at Houston later on. And St. Louis. San Diego is at Los Angeles later on. So that is our Miller Lite scoreboard.
Now pitching for Minnesota.
Oh boy.
Our Miller Lite Major League scoreboard.
What about 3 of a kind?
Travis Miller comes on to pitch here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-13-2 for the Sox. 3-12-1 for the Twinkies. There you see his numbers. Walk 5, 8 strikeouts, thrown 1 long one. Chris Singleton will lead it off. Chris is 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. A double, a single, the RBI, and he has scored a pair. So another good performance by the young center fielder. He was 4 for 5 yesterday with a homer, a triple, 3 RBIs. 2-0 the count. Outfield shading him to the left. And the count moves to 3-0. Norton on deck. There's one.
All right, Chris. Put a point on the board right here.
Don't get greedy. Let's put him hard in the play and is liable to, leave the premises. There's a comebacker. Not hit that hard, so Miller throws him out. 1 gone.
The New Era Cap Corner is located in the left field corner of the main concourse at Comiskey Park. It's open during all White Sox home games, and you can find a wide variety of White Sox and other team caps in all sizes at the New Era Cap Corner. That's where Mark McGwire hits homers.
That one he hit out there was
that
was majestic, magical.
Glad I was here.
I'll tell you what, I love Mark McGwire. There's a base hit. That's
hello. Oh boy.
Oh, I don't know. Guzman with a gun, and he gets it. Beautiful play by Christian Guzman on what appeared to be a base hit, but no.
I don't know. I think Greg Norton assumed this was going to be a base hit.
I do too.
Man, we've all been guilty of that, but that's just a terrific effort. Diving, getting to his feet, making a perfect throw. Wow. Yeah, he got him.
Oh, yeah, he was out.
Easily. Woo.
So here's Jeff Leefer. He's also had himself a fine game. Now he's going to be 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs this afternoon as Travis Miller made that look easy. Nothing across. We'll go the 8th. Good guys by 2. It's 5-3 Sox here in the top of the 8th inning. What a play by Christian Guzman to get Greg Norton. And Wimpy, as you made the really a quick call right there. Norton probably just assumed it was going to be in there for the base hit. You've done it, I've done it, and boy, it really upsets you because you know you should have beaten the play by a stride, and you get beat by a half a step.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, that was a great effort though by Guzman. He made a perfect throw too.
Chad Allen, Steinbach, and Guzman. Lower third of the order. Keith Falk, first pitch, no. Yes, he did. Says Jimmy Joyce, and the count 0-1. Allen 2 for 3, a couple of singles, a run scored. He's 7 for 13 in this series, hitting at .304. I like this guy.
Yeah.
Now Bert Blyleven, former great pitcher, in my opinion, should be in the Hall of Fame. telling us prior to the game, Wimpy and I were talking about some of the young players they have on this Minnesota club. Said it reminded him a lot of Dan Gladden. That type of player, feisty, fiery. And he certainly has shown it to us. He's a slashing type hitter.
Yeah.
Hustles. What is he, an Aggie?
Yes, Texas A&M Aggie.
Well, that ball's
wow.
ripped by Norton. Carlos Lee gets to it. Here's a throw. Cut off, and the leadoff double by Chad Allen.
Man, that's 8 hits in this series. And the changeup did not fool this guy. Crouch.
Well, almost everything he's hit has either been off speed or it's been out over the plate. He's hit a couple of fastballs for base hits, but they have been out over the plate. He keeps going back to what we mentioned the first time we saw him. Got a bit of a big swing. You get a guy like that, especially a rookie, you got to make him consistently beat you with that hard stuff in. So here's Steinbach. He's 0 for 3. Singleton over towards Ordonez and right. Big gap in left center field. First pitch strike. And some more activity is Gary Roth. He of the Wilmington Roths.
The Wilmington? That's easy for you to say.
Just misses with a fastball inside, straighten him up, but the count 1-1. Well, you would think it would be called Gary Rath.
Yeah.
But no, it's Roth of the Wilmington Roths.
I should say.
Here's a 1-1. Change up. Hooks it foul. So now Keith on top of the 37-year-old veteran, a ball and 2 strikes. Now here is where he possibly, if he decides to, they want to work him inside, really would max out his fastball if it's inside corner, right underneath the hands.
Yes.
Well, tried to get it there, just a little bit too high, and the count 2-2.
By the way, it's Alfred Gary Roth II.
Now that explains it. Now I understand.
From the Gulfport Roths.
He's gone upstairs. He'll grab some bench for out number 1. Third strikeout for Fulton. Right now, let's check out our Toyota game summary. There's the line score: 3-13-1, 5-13-2. Singleton 2 for 3. 17 for 34 on this homestand. Jeff Leefer. Boy, it's good to see Jeff have a big game. That's going to do a lot for his confidence. 3 for 4 and 3 big ribbies. Our Toyota game summary. Now, one thing about it, if you're going to play for Jerry Manuel and you're on this ball club, then you're going to play.
Yep.
If you're not going to play, then they'll probably send you out and get you some at-bats at either Charlotte or Birmingham. He will utilize his complement of players. Doug Minkiewicz hitting for Christian Guzman. Doug out of Florida State in the baseball program, a great baseball program with Mike Martin. He finished second in the College World Series this year to the Hurricanes.
All Florida final. How about that, huh?
Is it surprising?
Do you think there's any athletes in Florida now?
Isn't it amazing? Is it amazing or what?
I think it's more so than any other state. Because people didn't like to live there. They just like to visit before.
There's a strike on the outside corner to count 0-2.
Now everybody's moving down there. And great athletes are produced. In all sports.
Yeah. Football especially.
Oh, yeah.
I would say football first, baseball second, and then basketball. Minkiewicz, not a real good swing right there, but he does a good job to fight it off. You know, I go to a lot of high school games down there, and these kids just keep getting bigger, stronger, and faster. There's just a ton of talent. I mean, just in the Orlando area where we live in the winter, Just a ton of talent. A little bit low. It's nothing to see a Lion average 290, 295.
Oh, I know.
In high school.
In high school, yeah. That's if they're given the right weights.
Tried to keep them down.
Keep them down. That's right. Man.
Allen at second. Fastball upstairs. That evens count at 2. Davis got off to a real quick start this year and has slowed up. There's another fastball, and he fights that one off. It appears to me, just watching Minkiewicz, that he's looking for the ball. Just his actions at the plate. Oh, when you look for the ball, you're taking the worst of it.
Yeah. You're going to be late on the fastball and early on the breaking stuff or anything off speed.
90% of the time. Whoops. Change up. So a full count with Jacques Jones on deck. So what's he going to throw him, Duke?
I think he's going to go with the changeup here.
He's got good muscle. Remember, he just threw one on the 2-2. If you can throw a 2-2, you can throw a 3-2.
Yes.
He aces him on the inside corner. Beauty by Folk. That's his 4th strikeout.
Or he could throw him the inside fastball right underneath his hands.
Boy, you missed her after the fact or what?
Perfect, isn't it? Look at that. Ball tails back ever so slightly on the inside corner. Minkiewicz. Those hands move forward. No chance to pull the trigger on that one.
So here's Jacques Jones. He's 3 for 4 this afternoon. He's got his average up to 333.
Another one of those guys, real competitive at the
Another
plate.
one of these guys I like, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Checks it up. Looks like he's got a very strong upper body. He got some bat speed. He's got some pop. I think, though, as time goes on, even though he's hitting well at 333, as time goes on, he might alter that or adjust that move he's got to the pitch.
Yeah. Well, he might even up his stance.
Well, watch how, just watch. Mark his shoulders back on that orange sign behind the plate, and then watch how he approaches the pitch right here.
Yeah.
He's hitting across his body so much that once guys get a line on him and start pitching him, pounding him inside, he'll have to make an adjustment.
You would think, unless he's just so lightning quick inside. But as you mentioned, when you do, if you hit that ball hard, it's got to be foul, like in that camera well over there.
Well, Keith having a little trouble with his release point right here on his change. But at least he's missing low rather than missing up with it. Well, if you're going to make a mistake with that change, it's got to be because you miss low. If you miss up, they can go an awful long way. A hanging changeup is a great pitch to hit.
Good pitch.
On the inside corner. Full count.
There's the pitch we're talking about right there. When he's striding in, that pitch is so close to him. He's got to come around the ball to hit it.
Change, he's gone. Folk, after giving up the leadoff double, strikes out. Steinbach, Minkiewicz, Jones. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Sox by 2. What a job by the right-hander Keith Folk. He has pitched 2 innings in relief, giving up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and has 5 strikeouts. Brooke Fordyce hits first pitch deep into right center field. Jones back right in front of the fence. hits the fence and makes the catch for out number 1.
Thought he had it, and the Coca-Cola Silver and Black Pack is the kids' fan club for Sox fans ages 14 and under. Kids who join get free White Sox tickets and cool souvenirs. Plus, they can participate in an on-field parade. Membership is just $15. Call 312-674-5367 for a Silver and Black Pack application.
Denny Hocking is moving to shortstop for Christian Guzman. Now here's Ray Durham. Ray's 3 for 4, hitting at .313. Travis Miller's pitch down low. Well, the 5 strikeouts in 2 innings right there, and the job that Folk has been doing, especially in punching out guys, just goes to show you the power of the changeup. There's a strike. I know it's hard to conceive. Sometimes you're not with the game every day, and you call a pitch a power changeup. Folk's got one because it sets up everything else for him.
Yeah.
That's down low.
Oh, and when he does throw that fastball, it would appear in the eye of the hitter to be about 93, 94 miles an hour instead of 89 or 90.
And that's the real gun, too. It's not the gun behind the plate. It's the eye of the hitter. It's a real gun. There's a shot right at the center fielder. Jones is there. It's a hang with him for Ray.
He creamed that one.
Yes, he did. After 5.5 out at Coors Field, Cubs leading the Rockies 9-4. Sammy is hit number 25. So here's Mike with 2 gone. Mike 0 for 3, had a sacrifice bunt, a beautiful sacrifice bunt. As Wimpy mentioned earlier, we have seen some real good bunting on both sides this afternoon for base hits and for sacrifices. That's up high. Mike get home for the big hurt. Frank 3 for 4 in this ball game. A couple of doubles, a run scored, and an RBI. Also picked up his 1500th career hit. There's a strike. And Frank is 5 homers short of 300. That's in the right center field. Koski now making the call. At first he was looking for Jones. Makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Miller. He's retired 6 in a row. We'll go to the 9th. Sox on top by 2. As you look at Brian Little, sitting behind him is Keith Falk. Right-hander who worked 2 brilliant innings of relief. 5 strikeouts. The 6 outs he recorded. And a pitching change here in the top of the 9th. Wimpy, Bobby Howry.
Bobby comes on to try and seal the deal for the Sox, trying to win this series from Minnesota before we take off for Boston. Bobby 0-1 with a 4.61 ERA, 11 saves, 26 hits in 27 1/3. He has punched out 38 while walking 17. Got to get this first guy. As DJ Darren Jackson is the new left fielder for the Sox. And those are the only changes.
Brent Gates will lead it off. It'll be Gates, Walker, and Cordova to face Howry. Gates 1 for 3. He has an RBI. His first pitch fastball high off the plate. Couldn't get that gas. And the count evens at 1. That fastball got it by him as well. So Howry on top, 1-2.
That guy made a great catch in the sweep. Leaning out. Didn't even hurt.
What hurts?
It did hurt. Yes.
Oh, breaking ball. Freezes him. He's gone. He'll grab some bench for out number 1.
Great pitch by Bobby right there. He threw the fastball by him on the 2 previous pitches, and then here it is. Off speed. Couldn't pull the trigger. Hands went a little bit forward.
So here's Todd Walker. That's 1 for 4 ahead of him. Bunt single. Takes ball 1. Well, that curveball right there is going to do wonders for Bobby Howard if he learns how to command it, get him off that hard fastball, that hard slider. He went through a little streak there earlier when he was having some problems as that fastball fouled away. It was just very easy for the hitter to stay on it. It doesn't make any difference how hard you throw. Get major league hitters that are on you, they're going to get you. Got to have some sort of an off-speed pitch. That ball hit hard. There's a base hit, so Walker. A 1-out single.
He gave away that pitch. Looked like a changeup. Walker was really swung the bat well today. Gets his 2nd hit. Well, he has lined out a few times.
So here's Marty Cordova, 0 for 4 this afternoon. Fouls that pitch right side, and Howery jumps out on top. Decent lead by Walker. And that ball hit the one hopper. Russo, the backhand. Durham, rack him up. A beautiful twin killing turn. 6-4-3, and this ball game is over. So Bobby Howard comes on, nails it down for Jamie Navarro as the Sox take the rubber match of this 3-game set. They win it 5-3. Navarro the winner, Howard the save, and Wimpy and I'll be back. Right now, let's check out our Miller Genuine Draft play of the game. Coming off the bat of the 24-year-old rookie, Jeff Leefer. In fact, we're going to show you a couple of his RBI singles. He had 3 of them in this ball game. He was 3 for 4, 3 RBIs. And Wimpy, it's just nice to see this youngster have a big day.
Oh, he came in through in the clutch, too. The Sox really needed this game to leave on that road trip on a positive note. That was his first RBI on a good pitch by Radke. Right there, he kind of flips one over the infield. Scored Mags Ordonez, and we needed every one of those runs. The Sox were able to prevail 5-3.
And that's our Miller Genuine Draft player of the game. Right now, joining us down on the field is a fellow who also had a very fine game, and he is having a great year. Our second baseman, Ray Durham. And Ray, you guys, I'll tell you what, in the game last night, trailing 12-3, you guys just don't quit, do you?
No, we don't. You know, that's our trademark. You know, we're going to fight you to the end, and a lot of teams are starting to notice that, and you know, they want to put a lot of runs on the board quick.
Well, Ray, you were 3 for 5 in this ball game. You got your average up around 311, 312. But the big thing too is that, you know, our ball club has gone in streaks where there'd be, you know, down times, up times, because it's a young club. But yet, turning 3 double plays to that last one's just a Jim Dandy, and you have really learned how to cheat at second base. One of the better guys in the league at that.
Yeah, you know, in spring training, you know, I work, you know, day in and day out on that, and so far it's starting to pay off, and you know, hopefully I'll continue to improve.
Ray, what about Jerry Manuel? What does he mean? Wimpy and I talk about it during the ball games up here. In fact, we had an email earlier this afternoon talking about why are the Sox so much more fun to watch this year than last. And even though the talent level on the ball club may have been a little higher because we have the youngest team in the league last season, but what does Jerry Manuel mean to this ball club?
He definitely means a lot to this ball club. You know, he basically just tells us to go out there and have fun, and you know, he takes a lot of pressure off of us, and you know, it's starting to show. If you're playing with, you know, having fun, then you know, it makes the game a lot easier.
Well, Ray, what about Von Joshua? It looks like everybody's really swinging the bats. The Sox are the hottest hitting team in the American League, hitting well over 300 in the month of June. What kind of effect has Josh had on the team as a whole?
He basically lets you go out there and do your thing, and if he sees that you need to make a change, then he'll suggest it. But ultimately, it's up to you. And he just basically goes up there and tells you to just see a pitch and hit it, and don't think about mechanics. Your mechanics is going to take over, and just go up there, see ball, hit ball.
Well, Ray, what about defending a team like Minnesota? They look like they're hitting the ball all over the place. They put a lot more pressure than say one of those power hitting teams that we're used to facing.
Yeah, they do. They put the ball in play. They hit and run a lot. They can steal bases. It's difficult to defensive team like that because they're similar to us.
Ray, we were going over the minor league report. We saw that little brother Chad down at Bristol in 6 ball games has 10 stolen bases. Wow. So he's doing well. Thanks for the time, Ray.
Oh, you're welcome.
Our all-star second baseman, Ray Durham, and we'll be back. And the totals for the finale of this 3-game set, this rubber match game, and this homestand for the Sox. 5 runs, 13 hits, 2 errors. They left 9 for Minnesota. 3 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They left 7. The winner, Jamie Navarro. He is now 6-5. Radke takes the loss. He's 5-7. Credit Bobby Howry with his 12th save of the season. So in this ball game this afternoon before 13,000 plus on a beautiful day for baseball. A lot of stars in this ball game, but you got to go right to Keith Folk.
Oh, yeah, Keith was brilliant, Hawk. You pointed out he struck out 5 batters in 2 innings of work. He's just amazing with that changeup. He'll throw the fastball in, the changeup away, and he's been so consistent over the last month or so. There really can't be a better reliever in all of baseball other than Keith Folk. He set the table for Bobby Howry, and Bobby got that big double play against Marty Cordova, who actually killed us yesterday's ball game to win this thing. So it was a good 2 out of 3 sweep from Minnesota. They're a surprising ball club. I'll tell you what. The Minnesota Twins are going to break some hearts before the season is over with. They're a very competitive team. They go with pitches. They hit line drives all over the ballpark. And some contending teams later on in the season are not going to want to play these guys.
Well, a good example of that is Jamie Navarro, who really pitched well this afternoon. And when you read his line score tomorrow in the papers, it's going to say 5 2/3, 3 runs, just 2 earned, 12 hits, no strikeouts. He had 1 walk. And it's not going to look too good. But actually, as Wimpy was just talking about, this pesky hitting ball club, they shanked the ball in here. There were a lot of balls that, don't get me wrong, hit hard, but there were a lot of seeing eye ground balls on both sides, the Sox and the Twins this afternoon. But Jamie, it looks like he's back. He was throwing the ball well.
Yeah, he threw the ball extremely well. He got that 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Didn't get many inside fastball calls, and so the Minnesota Twins, they ate up yesterday on pitches out over the plate and off speed. So anytime you made a mistake, they were hitting a line drive someplace. And as Ray Durham said just a few moments ago, the Minnesota Twins are tough to defense because it reminds them of the White Sox. Very pesky. They don't strike out. They put the ball in the play. They'll hit and run. They'll steal a base here and there. So this was a very exciting series. 2 out of 3 wins. And, I thought coming in there was an opportunity to sweep these guys. But when you look at the talent on Minnesota, you think, hey, these guys are a lot better than that record would indicate.
Well, beating Brad Radke, who is one of the top pitchers in the American League, is always a nice thing to do, and especially in a rubber match of a 3-game set. And another one of the bright spots this afternoon was the 24-year-old rookie, the first baseman outfielder, Jeff Leefer. His first 3 times up, he had 3 RBI singles. And that was a good thing to see because Jeff has had the toughest situation of any of our young players so far this season. His play has been sporadic. He's been inserted here to pinch hit, play occasional start. So he's really had the toughest job, and he was 3 for 4 today in a big ball game.
Yeah, he's made some adjustments. I think Von Joshua, I give him a lot of credit, too, to working with Jeff. He's a low ball hitter, and he's got to make sure that he takes that pitch up out of the strike zone. And he got some pitches up. Yeah, actually, his first at bat against Radke, it was a pretty good pitch by Brad on down and away. It may have even been a ball, and it was with 2 strikes. It drove home the first White Sox run and really sent a positive note throughout the White Sox team, knowing that they could beat one of the better pitchers in the American League.
And Chris Singleton, another star in this ball game. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with the Sox center fielder, Chris Singleton.